I made the invasion of Normandy, D-Day. 10,000 Americans were killed that first day alone. I was so very, very proud of my military service, and I'm prouder, I think, of the present generation than I was of my own generation, and I was very, very proud of them.
When he went off to war, you were gone. You left for 4 years, maybe the occasional letter, but no kind of connection. I think, Paul, when you were in the military, it was much the same when you went off to Vietnam.
Correct.
You couldn't just call home.
You had to go to a certain spot in the country, and there'd be a FM set up, and you could talk for 15 seconds if they were able to get through.
Is it better now that you can kind of communicate all the time, especially with the internet, or is it worse?
I think it's better in the sense that it relieves some of the stress. Unfortunately, if things aren't going well at home, the stress comes from home as well.
It's a mixed bag. You can be too close. You leave, and you can Skype every single day from Afghanistan.
Right.
So one advantage when Paul was in and when I was in, you could leave the stresses of home at home. Now, it's nice to be involved, but also you can be too involved, and it can have an impact on morale.
And you can't do anything if you're remote. If you're in Afghanistan and your wife or your husband, if the wife is deployed, says, you know, my checks are bouncing. I didn't get the check. There's nothing you can do about it.
Or have a sick child.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, our hats off to them. That's why we are celebrating Veterans Day right here in New York City.
All right, Mike Woods has a very special guest. Mike.
All right, Greg. Yes, we have Ed Custodio with U-Haul. Now, U-Haul, a lot of folks may not realize how involved they are with veterans and veterans affairs, and you do something special with them, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What I am is I am the military corporate recruiter for U-Haul.
Wow.
Our organization was founded by a veteran since 1945. So the same common beliefs and values that we seek in future employers, we always reach out to our veterans.
So that's pretty impressive. So do you have a lot of veteran staff?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, a lot of our recruiting base are all veterans themselves. So we understand what a veteran's been through. We're veterans ourselves. I'm a retired first sergeant from the United States Army.
Okay, our hats off to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So our goal on behalf of our organization is to reach out to a lot of veterans nationwide.
Because when it comes down to it, folks that are in the military and have served have a lot in common with folks that do work for U-Haul, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of our veterans do have transferable skills that we always seek. From loyalty to duty to respect. These guys, we give them a mission, they accomplish the mission.
Very good. Ed Custodio, well, thank you very much for speaking with us here today, and happy Veterans Day to you. I hope you enjoy this wonderful day that we have out here.
It's beautiful out here.
You gotta love the support.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank
you for what you do.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
All right, Greg Rosanna.
Nice to know what's going on in our community. That's great.
All right, we just saw the Las Vegas entertainers go by. Now, before anybody gets excited, there are a bunch of kids.
Well, they're 6 to 13 years old, and they raised money in their community so that they could come here. Here they are, to come here and sing. So basically, they wanted to be a part of this, and they had a lot of fundraisers at home, and here they are. They wanted to bring something to our city.
And again, Paul, the contrast between what's happening today in 2011 as opposed to what happened when you returned in 1969, 1970, night and day.
No comparison. No, the people are out.
And they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
They're so happy to be here. Look at their faces.
And they're great. They're
And
really
they
good.
really can sing.
This is that classic Lee Greenwood song. right?
Correct.
Proud to be an American?
Yes.
All right. The Las Vegas Entertainers, thank you so much for making the trip. Happy Veterans Day. We'll be right back with more of the parade.
The States of America indisputably has the best military on this planet. All American citizens owe a great debt of gratitude to both active military and the veterans for having protected our country for so long. So on behalf of J.P. Morgan and our 250,000 employees, we want to say from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
This is Jacob. He makes cereal for his little brother every morning. He also washes the car, but probably should have rolled the windows up. This is Jacob's dad. He left for Afghanistan almost a year ago. Behind every serviceman and woman, there is a family that serves as well. Now it's our turn. Thanks for holding down the fort, Jacob.
Let's all join forces and show our thanks.
What a nice message from Tom Hanks and the First Lady.
First Lady, correct.
Very nice. Well, we're here celebrating veterans of all wars, and we're learning so much about the men and women who serve our country.
I'm going to show you a picture right now of the bandstand across the street. One of the Grand Marshals is General Petraeus. You see him there with the black baseball cap.
Next to John Zuccotti on the left, by the way.
And John Zuccotti, who's been made internationally famous by the protest that's currently underway at Zuccotti Park, which bears his name.
Yes.
And on the left, the lady in the brown coat, that's Mrs. Petraeus. Oh, and Ranger's gone.
Ah. The Veterans Advantage Card, delivering rewards for your service. A lot of merchants, a lot of businesses and corporations really are stepping up to support military families, veterans, retirees.
That card is, many people have described it as ARP on steroids with the amount of benefits and things that they've given to veterans.
We are celebrating a lot of Grand Marshals here today. As we mentioned, John Zuccotti, he is one of the Grand Marshals. We spoke to General Petraeus. He is also a Grand Marshal.
And two people who deserve all the recognition of Veterans Day and much more, the Fishers. The Fisher family, they are so part of the military culture and fabric. They've done so much, and I think Mike Woods has two from the Fisher family with him right now. I'm going to throw it to Mike.
All right, yes, Greg and Rosanna, yes, I just met these guys, and I'm learning so much in a short period of time. We have Arnold and Ken Fisher from the Fisher family, and these guys, they're Grand Marshals in the parade, and I'm just learning a lot about it, and they have done a lot in terms of coming up with organizations that help out vets and their families. So, Arnold, why don't you tell me a little bit about your organization first?
Well, I'm the honorary chairman of the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund, and what we've done is we've raised over $200 million from the American public, and we've built the Center for the Intrepid in San Antonio, which takes care of the prosthetics for all the kids that are coming home without arms and legs.
Wow, and there is a major need. We see that daily in the news.
And then last year we opened the Center of Excellence in Bethesda for the young men and women coming home with traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress, and that's what we do. And when I build these things, Kent comes along, and he builds the Fisher House.
He builds the Fisher House. This is your son here, and so Ken, tell me a little bit about the Fisher House and what it is that you do.
Fisher House, all around the country, we build comfort homes for families of those who have been sick or wounded to stay in for no charge for as long as the hospital stay dictates.
Because that can be a very expensive thing for families to go through, and it puts the families in a lot of stress, quite honestly.
Well, when they get wounded, life doesn't stop for the families. Bills still come in, mortgages need to be paid, children have to be raised. The last thing these families need to worry about is the additional expense of a hotel. So that's where Fisher House comes in.
All right, well, Ken and Arnold, thank you very much, gentlemen, for helping us out on this Veterans Day. You guys do amazing work. Keep up the good work. Grand Marshals, one of these days, do you think I could borrow that sash? Do you think I could get out there?
I tell you, as soon as it's over, you can have it.
All right, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, absolutely. Greg Rosanna, we'll send it over to you.
Mike, they are two terrific people who are the fabric of New York City, who do so much for the people here.
And they do so much for the military. I have to tell you, for a while I thought Fisher House was, some general who served a long time ago. They're so much part of a military base. Paul, you've seen the Fisher House. I think there are some people out there who don't realize that the Fishers are alive and well and serving the New York City community because they're so much part of the military backdrop.
Yeah. Besides that, they have Fisher homes at veterans hospitals as well as military hospitals. And just recently announced the British government had asked them to come build a Fisher House with them in partnership to treat the families of British soldiers.
They've raised so much money to do this. I mean, especially in an economy that we're in right now.
It's a small story. 600,000 people for the Center for the Intrepid, and most of them were $2 and $3 contributions.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's just fantastic. America kids poured out their money, gave their jars full of coins and pennies.
Hey, look!
And it was wonderful.
Paul Buca, look who we're looking at. Cuba Gooding Jr.
That's right.
along
Isn't that
with the
great?
Tuskegee, because he's doing a movie about these guys, right?
Correct. He is. And that's a wonderful story. The Tuskegee Airmen is just a spectacular story.
Give us a little bit, yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Yes.
What's
That's
up, Cuba? Yeah! Show us you rock!
Hats off to all you.
You guys
Hi.
roll! What's up?
Nice to see you. Tell us a little bit about these.
In World War II, we still had segregation.
Right.
And the flyboys, if you will, were considered the very best. And a group in Ohio and in Tennessee and all around came together and formed a black flying group. After the war was over, which was interesting, the white flyers took to the aerial concerts. And the Tuskegee Airmen and many of the black flyers took over the racetracks and drove the cars. And there's a great documentary about them. They come to every inauguration. They stand proudly together. They have a camaraderie that outlasts anything that I've ever seen with a veterans group. When Don King came to see them, they made Don King come to him.
All right, stay with us. More of the parade after the break.
Stay safe, all of you, and happy Veterans Day.
Thank you so much. We love you and we support you.
Love you. We're so proud of you. Please come home quickly and safely.